Prime Minister opens new Foreign Affairs building, welcomes first female head of the Jamaica Defence Force, and receives a report aimed at transforming the island's education system. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan.
In our 60th year of independence, we must commit to making the transformation of our education system one of our most important priorities, if not the most important priority.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, as he received the Reform of the Education in Jamaica 2021 report. The 342-page document was compiled by the Jamaica Education Transformation Commission, JETC. It provides a blueprint for the establishment of a comprehensive strategy to improve student performance and education productivity. Mr. Holness says a monitoring and oversight committee will be set up by month end to manage the implementation of the 54 prioritized recommendations from the report. The Ministry of Education will have overarching responsibility for implementing those recommendations and is to submit a detailed execution plan complete with timelines.
As far as possible, we must use the existing resources within the ministry, and where there are capacity gaps, we must build capacity to address those gaps.
In the meantime, the JETC has been tasked with leading a 6-month institutional review of the Heart NSTA Trust. In addition to a comprehensive review of Heart's organization and output, the Prime Minister says the JETC will recommend changes to improve the entity's effectiveness.
The review will look at the demand side of TVET, considering how to enable the Jamaican TVET system to better meet the needs of young people, employers, government policy priorities, and the economy, as well as the supply side, considering how to build capacity and capability.
Later in the week, the Prime Minister was on Port Royal Street in downtown Kingston to officially open the new headquarters of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. The building was named in honor of the island's third Prime Minister and the longest-serving Minister of Foreign Affairs, the late Hugh Lawson Shearer.
Hugh Shearer's management of his portfolio at the Foreign Ministry was imbued with his conviction of the inextricable link between domestic and foreign policy.
Mr. Holness says the new complex will support the ministry's critical role in ensuring Jamaica's quest to achieve economic prosperity, as well as inclusive and sustainable development.
As the first point of contact for our bilateral, regional, and multilateral partners, you are ideally placed to ensure that our partnerships give practical meaning to our national objectives through your foreign policy engagements.
The fit-for-purpose building, which spans 11 stories, accommodates 285 staff members across 17 departments. The ministry's complex was built as a gift from the People's Republic of China. Mr. Holness used the occasion to announce plans to build more fit-for-purpose government facilities in the island's 60th year of independence, being celebrated this August. Work will start this year on the Houses of Parliament complex to be erected at Heroes Circle.
These are not edifices to ourselves, to burnish our egos. This is to ensure that we can have efficiency in the administration of public affairs. There are those who would want to see tighter rules, but we have to reach a reasonable balance. Tighter rules could mean less work, it could mean less economic activity, less income, and that could also mean more social problems. But nevertheless, I believe we all understand that it is now down to us.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, as he made a case for maintaining the current COVID-19 control measures. There have been calls to tighten restrictions to manage the current fourth wave of the pandemic, but Mr. Holness rebutted with his own call for greater social and personal responsibility to contain the spread of the coronavirus.
That we must act responsibly. Each citizen must do their part. The government can only do so much. Government has limits.
On Thursday, the Prime Minister was on hand to welcome the new Chief of Defence Staff at the Jamaica Defence Force, JDF. Rear Admiral Antoinette Weems Gorman is the 12th head of the JDF and the first woman to lead a country's army. She takes over from Lieutenant General Rocky Meade, who retired after 5 years in the post. At the virtual swearing-in ceremony at King's House, Mr. Holness, who is the Defence Minister, expressed confidence in Rear Admiral Weems Gorman's ability to lead the JDF.
I look forward to benefiting from her wise counsel on matters related to defense and security. The Rear Admiral's many years in the JDF Coast Guard has allowed her to treat significantly with issues relating to maritime security and the blue economy. She will therefore bring a unique perspective to our discussions and our efforts to strengthen our borders and prevent illicit inflows, to protect the lives and livelihoods of our coastal communities, and to ensure that Jamaica can derive sustainable benefit from our maritime resources.
On Friday, the Prime Minister was at Up Park Camp to participate in the change of command parade for the new Chief of Defence Staff. Friday also saw Mr. Holness meeting with several Maroon leaders at the office of the Prime Minister. Among the leaders were colonels from Scots Hall, Moortown and Charlestown. The meeting was also attended by Culture Minister Olivia Grange and Minister without Portfolio Robert Morgan. The group committed to continuing positive engagements between the Maroons and the government. Upon hearing of the re-election of Mia Mottley as Prime Minister of Barbados, Mr. Holness sent congratulations to the neighbouring head of government. The Prime Minister expressed confidence that under Mottley's leadership, Jamaica and Barbados will continue to share strong bilateral relations. Ms. Mottley's Barbados Labour Party secured all 30 seats in the country's parliament for a second consecutive term in a general election.
For you are a holy people to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you to be a people for himself.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness reading the first lesson at the 2022 National Leadership Prayer Breakfast. Proceeds of the fundraising event went to the Clifton Boys' home in Darliston, Westmoreland. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.